What up? What up? Yeah, this is crazy because this is my first live ever. So I'm getting over major anxiety doing this live, but I figure while I'm on this drive, I might as well jump in. But everybody who knows me, y'all know I'm a big advocate of entrepreneurship. I'm a big advocate of people getting out there and doing what they do, getting their money, as long as it's legal. And we all heard that saying before. Be careful what you ask for. And as much as I am a big advocate for entrepreneurship, I'm a bigger advocate for life, for enjoying this thing, this ride that we all on called life, and learning from it. And when we learn, it's our obligation to give back and share and teach. And that's really the mission that I've been on for the last year or so, is really just trying to give back, teach, educate, motivate, and just inspire people, especially people who come from the same hood as I come from, the same avenues of poverty and just being financially done in and rising above that. So I was talking to my man this weekend, and I wanted to share it with somebody because I know, if he going through it, I know I've been through it. Maybe one of y'all out there going through something similar. So I just want to plant a seed with y'all. I'm talking to my man, and for many years before, he hated his job, can't stand it. And, he really is like, yo, I want to be out of here. It's to the point that I hate waking up in the morning, going to work. It's a chore. And obviously, he's not doing the best job because he hates being there. So recently, he came down with some health issues and had to take a leave of absence. And, the job now is on his neck. The job is like, okay, we gave you X amount of time off. It's time to come back. He's like, yo, I'm still going through it. I can't go back. But he's jumping through all these hoops, going through all these hurdles, trying to keep a job that for the last 2, 3, 4 years, he was like, I can't stand this place. And I hit him up and I was just talking to him like, look, I know that right now this is not, great for you. You don't want to lose your job. You don't want to lose your benefits. But isn't this exactly what you've been asking for? Like, no, you don't want to be unemployed, but you know for a fact this is not the place. This ain't the company that I'm ever going to grow in. This ain't the company. It's not the environment that's ever going to make me become the individual, the executive, the person that I need to become or want to become. I'm never going to make the kind of money. I'm not getting bumps in salary. I have never been, bumped up in terms of a promotion. But now you fighting to keep this job. And I had to really pull him back and just say, look, sometimes, and this is for anybody who's listening, like, we don't always, when we put stuff out there to the world, when we put, I don't know who you pray to, but for me, I'm very spiritual and I'm faith driven. And what I've come to learn in this life is we put stuff out there and we pray on these things and we tell God we want certain things, but God don't give it to you the way you ask for it or the way you think it's going to come. It always comes disguised, wrapped in something completely different. But when you peel back the layers, it's exactly what it is you asked for. And then you just got to trust him that he's going to take you through it. And I was talking to my man and I'm telling him, like, look, chill for a second. This is exactly what it is that you asked for. It's exactly what you asked for. It ain't come in the package you thought it was going to come in. But now you have a way to get out of that job with a little package, go on about your life and do what it is that you really want to do, because you have been complaining for years. You were never going to take this step on your own. but now it's available to you. Why are you scraping and clawing and trying your best to stay in an environment that you know is not good for you? So I think all of us, and I can talk for myself, like a few years ago, right? And I grew up like most of us going to church, and I'd never forget when I was like younger, I would hear the people in church, they would always be praying for faith. And me, even in my younger mind, I was praying for faith, and I wasn't even realizing what I was praying for. It was just like, God, bless me with faith. Well, guess what? Some years ago, I went through a situation that tested me on every level. It tested me on the level of finances. It tested me on levels of my manhood. It tested me on levels of what is it that you, like, for me, for Shawn, just as a man, are you willing to put yourself in a place of being humble and have humility and smile and treat people good who are doing everything in their power to try to break you? And what I didn't realize at the time, and somewhere midway through this whole experience, because this experience, it just felt like it was never going to end. It was like, yo, God, like, at what point am I going to get to the other side of this? But then somewhere during that journey, I came to realize it was my prayer being answered. It didn't come to, I didn't realize at the time that praying for faith, praying for something that at the time I was just throwing it out there. But I didn't realize at the time, in order to acquire faith, you're going to be tested. You are going to be tested in a way that you have to rely on something that's greater than you. You have to rely on something that, only the man upstairs can bring you through. And I remember dropping to my knees, and until this minute, I remember my prayer like, God, you got to take this over, because this burden is too heavy for me. It's too much for me to carry. And it wasn't until that moment that I let it go. I just let it go, that everything started to fall in place. And truth be told, I came out on the other side better as a man, financially, everything better than when I went into it. But again, we often ask for things and we don't realize what we're asking, or we ask for things and when we get it, we too scared to just let God do what he do. He like, the bottom line is, if you are trying to go from point A to point B, you're not going to be picked up in a Rolls Royce and driven there. It might be a bunch of hurdles. You might have to run half the way, crawl half the way, swim half the way, do whatever you got to do to get to the other side. But when you get there, it's going to make you a better human being. And for me, I look at all of us and I want everybody to really just think about, I don't know what you're going through in this life. I don't know right now what it is that it's more people on the unemployment line than ever before. COVID is really hitting the world hard and it's spiking. A lot of people are without work. People who have businesses, they're being challenged. God forbid if you was in the restaurant industry, right now it's a major challenge. So many people in the hood that have barbershops, beauty salons, that's looking at being closed down again. But the point I'm saying is, trust the process. No matter what comes at you, if you have that foundation based in something that's greater than you, based in something that is not just what you can control, I don't care how bad things look. Trust the process. Trust that God ain't gonna bring you somewhere that he is not readily available and totally capable of bringing you to the other side. And like I said, even with this COVID thing, there's no greater commodity on earth. The older I get, the more I realize time, that is the greatest commodity on earth. You know, time, because we all got the same 24 hours, but every day that you live, that's one day closer to your own demise. You ain't gonna be here every day. Like, I hope you live to be 1,000. But the longer you live, that is one day closer to the day you ain't living. So time means everything to me. How I use my 24 hours is more important to me than damn near anything. And we all, you know, especially people like myself, people who have really come up and hustled hard and really went after it, did what we had to do to get ourselves out the hood to wherever we at now. Or if you in the process of doing that, how many times have you said, I just don't have the time? I just don't have time to do X, Y, and Z. I would spend more time with my family. I would spend more time learning another language. I would try, whatever it is. Well, guess what? While you're sitting home and you complaining about, I'm tired of wearing these masks, I'm tired of being in the house, I got cabin fever, this and that. Thank God for time. He gave us exactly what, just universally. All of us was hollering about we need more time. Well, he gave it back to us. But the question is, what are you going to do with that time? And this is why it is so important when you ask for things. When obstacles and adversities and trials come your way, instead of just focusing on what you see, what's before you, you really need to take a step back and start to, you know, God, why am I going through this? Is there a greater meaning here? Is there something in this process that I need to learn? And if you can do that more times than not, the answer is going to be revealed to you. And even now, how many people are going to come out of this thing worse off than when they went in? They got all the time in the world, but they spending it on PlayStation. They spending it on Xbox. They spending it Netflix and chilling, doing everything but taking their lives to the next level. We got exactly what we've been asking for in time. And I want you to really think to yourself and make a commitment to yourself that with this time that I have now with COVID and all of us being quarantined, I'm coming out of this thing great. I'm coming out of this thing in a way that if I had to do the whole hustle and bustle thing, going back and forth to work, I would just never have time to take my life to the next level. I'm going to be doing these lives a little more often. Now that I got this first one out, cleared some of that anxiety up, you know, I'll just talk about some things that's on my brain. Hopefully, you know, I'll get some of you, and just to keep it real, like it ain't always going to be about life stuff. Sometimes it's just going to be straight business. And hopefully people can jump in and we can have some real dialogue, and, you know, I can help get y'all to the next level with your business, setting it up, getting it off the ground, or if it's off the ground, getting it to the next level. But either which way, I think that it's our obligation to lift each other up. It's our obligation to make sure if we have been blessed to learn and to do and to know, we're supposed to educate, inspire, motivate those who would love to get to where we are or surpass us. So peace and blessings, y'all. We're going to call this from now on. I've been trying to think of a name for these things, but I'll probably do it while I'm driving or something. But we're going to call them, the whole thing I do is a Power Move Maker. So we're going to call this our Power Move Minute. All right. Peace and blessings, y'all. Hopefully something was said that inspires y'all, and we'll keep it going. Much love. I don't even know how to turn this damn thing off, but I'll figure it out. Later.